Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another episode of the Nap Bros podcast. And this week we are getting into week 6 of the Chattown Fantasy League. And so we're going to just go ahead and get things going. So, in the current standings, Lamarvel Universe takes the number 1 spot at 5-1, followed closely by London Silly Nannies. And by closely, I mean 80 points. Heartbeat moved into third place at 4-2. Yours truly back in the hot seat, got into the 4th place, jumping over Don't Take the Bate-man, who is currently in 5th place. And then 2 teams at 3-3, better than Scott in 6th place, Let's Ride in 7th place. And then a quadfecta, I guess is what you could call it, a quadfecta. We'll go with that. A quadfecta of teams at 2-4. 8th place, Biggest Loser. 9th place, the Leprechauns. 10th place, Schrute Farms. And 11th place, the Waterboys. Bringing up the rear, bringing up the caboose, bringing up the booty of it all, Scott's Tots in 12th place with an 0-6 record. Just hold the applause, but I did actually officially win, even though he snuck on there and grabbed Deion Jackson while my Jonathan Taylor decided that he was going to take another day off, which is fine. No problem. Andrew, you want to break down the average difference in points?
Absolutely. It's a little delayed on one side versus the other, but whatever. So this week, average difference was 22.23 points. I'd say that gives us about an average of about 23, 24, somewhere in there. A little high, a little low, but it's usually about right down the mid-20s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we seem to be sitting around the 20s. So we'll go back and forth on the matchup and the useful points. Sound good? Cool.
Sure.
All right. So this week, surprisingly, I had the biggest blowout of the week. I think it was just basically because Scott didn't. Well, actually, there's no way that Scott would have won. And it's just even if he put in his best lineup, it was just he's just doing bad. I think he still needs to just hold on and just wait. But anyway, back in the hot seat, took on Scott's Tots, and my team beat Scott's Tots 108.82 to 70.72. And I think actually I had the highest points on the week, which was, again, surprising considering that my QB is, but still fine. I did have the biggest blowout with 38.1 points difference between Scott and I. And I think actually going into Monday night or Sunday night, I think it was really needing some stuff to happen, but I think I don't know who I had, but yeah, I needed some stuff to happen. We were kind of like competitive, and the whole week before, Scott was like, "Oh, we're tied," or it's like we're really close. It seems like it's going to be really close. I even messaged him. I was like, "How do you feel about going 0-6?"
Yeah, you said it last week.
Yep. So anyway, my team, I left Rashad White on the bench, and I should have started him over DJ Dallas. I started DJ Dallas because I assumed that Kenneth Walker wouldn't do very much in Seattle. I was wrong. And so I could have added an extra 3.7 points to my total. Scott's Tots actually left 30.5 points on his bench. He should have started Terry McLaurin over Cortland Sutton. Should have started Deion Jackson over Jeff Wilson Jr., and he should have started Tyler Algier over J.K. Dobbins. Now, I will say this. McLaurin and Sutton, yeah, I'm not really sure about them. I definitely wouldn't have started Deion Jackson over Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson just had a bad game. It was just a bad game. And I don't think I would have started Tyler Algier over J.K. Dobbins, but I'm not sure about J.K. Dobbins as a whole, personally. Scott wouldn't have been able to beat me regardless. And kind of looking at what you had said last week, if I had not started the QB, I still would have won because my QB only got like 15 points or something like that. So I still would have been able to come out victorious. All right. You want to take the next one?
Let's see. Barely eked it out this week. Difference of 1 point. Better than Scott beat the Waterboys 95.5 to 94.5. Thus catapulting Better than Scott from tied to second to last to tied fourth to last. No, I'm sure. I don't even know what it is. That's just a guess. Better than Scott had the perfect lineup. 100% versus the Waterboys having 9.7 left on the bench. Nobody would have started Hardman over Tyler Lockett, and nobody would have started Kyle Pitts while he's been playing over Urban Smith Jr. Even though Urban Smith Jr. had some points.
I think with Kyle Pitts, I think with Kyle Pitts, I would have started him over Irv Smith. Just
Kyle Pitts has been on a losing streak for points.
Yeah.
But for sure, if Waterboy starts one more player different, he would have won. So, yeah, 104.2 to 95.5 is what he would have
got. Biggest loser took down the Leprechauns 100.1 to 68.48. Biggest loser left 10.7 points on the bench. He should have started Jimmy Garoppolo over Joe Burrow. Not happening. And Tony Pollard over A.J. Brown. Not happening. But that would have given him that extra 10.7 points. The Leprechauns also actually had a perfect lineup. And by perfect, I mean perfect, because there's a lot of issues going on with the Leprechauns lineup. Like, he didn't have much left. There's just no way that the Leprechauns had a perfect lineup, but still ended up losing. I don't know what in the world that noise is. That is a really loud noise. But anyway, so go ahead and take the next one.
Follow up to that, Heartbeat could have beat Lamarvel. Probably not, actually, but Lamarvel pulled out a win 77.7 to 70.72. Lamarvel had 32.4 points on the bench. Ouch. He's starting Brandon Ayuk over George Pickens and Amari Cooper over Valdez Scantling, Kansas City. Heartbeat had a whopping 4.2. He could have started Khalil Herbert over Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but even at that point, still would not have won. So, lost either way, Heartbeat, unfortunately.
Yep.
Second loss for Heartbeat.
Second loss.
I don't think it's in a row. I think he lost one.
It is in a row.
Lost
it
one.
is in a row. It's in a
Is
row,
it?
yeah.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah.
All right.
Schrute Farms lost to Let's Ride. Let's Ride had 105.72 points, and Schrute Farms had 81.12. Let's Ride actually left 7 points on the bench. He should have started Darnell Mooney over Jerry Jeudy and Tyler Boyd over James Robinson. I don't think I would have done that anyway. I don't know. Jerry Jeudy, I think, just isn't doing well just because Denver as a whole isn't doing well. So we'll see. Well, it's really going to depend on the matchups from here on out. Schrute Farms left 25.36 points on the bench. He should have started Geno Smith over Justin Herbert, Juju Smith-Schuster over Mike Williams, and Michael Carter over Kareem Hunt. No, none of those. There's no way. Especially the Juju over Mike Williams. There's no way. Juju just happened to be the wide receiver this week that got all the touchdowns. But if Schrute Farms had started all of those guys over the ones he chose, then he would have actually won the game, 106.48 to 105.72.
Last but certainly not least, the follow-up being London Silly Nannies taking on yours truly. Don't take the Bate-man. Let's just say that my team flopped horribly. There was no chance of me winning at any point in this game. I had the only trade was Murray over Curtis Samuel, and it's like, oh my god, if anybody could not give me points, it was this week, London Sillinance had 11.3 points on the board. Could have started Josh Palmer over Melvin Gordon. No one would do that. DJ Moore over Madison. I feel like that's the second time he started Madison, but he still pulled the win out.
Yeah.
I left 5.3 points on the board. I could have started Murray over Curtis Samuel, which I'm glad that he's starting to take some runs away from Gordon.
Yeah.
It is Gordon, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
either way, like I said, no chance I would have won.
So speaking of Latavius Murray and Melvin Gordon, like again, Denver just seems like a crap show. Like it just doesn't seem like there's anything going right. And like we saw that game yesterday, that was just terrible across the board. And so yeah, I don't know what's going on with Denver, but Melvin Gordon is definitely not somebody that I'm excited about having. Period. Um, I think Latavius Murray will probably get more touches, but they've got a lot of stuff to figure out. Like I'm just staying away from all of them. Cortland Sutton is the only wide receiver I think that's worth a darn, but even that's iffy. Um, anyway, so who surprised you in a good way? So who surprised me in a good way? I put two people in, but I'm just going to really just talk about one. Brandon Ayuk came out of nowhere against Atlanta, and I would presume maybe Atlanta's defense did a really good job of locking down Debo Samuel. And we saw that Jeff Wilson was not really involved in the game. And Atlanta ended up winning that game. So Atlanta seems to be doing pretty well. Like I'm surprised at that. But anyway, he had 24.3 points, 11 targets, 8 receptions for 83 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Well, Mariota like just ran the ball excellently and played excellent, and like honestly, what is it? Atlanta's what? Are they 4-2 or are they 3-3 now? I feel like they're
They
four
might be
and
like
two.
3-3, possibly.
Nope, they're 3-3. Yeah, they're 3-3. But even still, I mean, no one would have thought he'd been playing this well. It's kind of like a whole Geno Smith thing. I mean, granted, he plays good and then he plays horrible, but compared to how he played in Tennessee, I mean, he's really stepped it up a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Mariota, like I had him on the team 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago, and he just didn't do anything. And so going up against the thing is like, because San Francisco's defense is great, going up against him, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna like try and put him into my lineup. I'm not gonna keep him. I'm not gonna have him. I'm just gonna get rid of him. And he got 20 some odd points. And so yeah, that was surprising, really surprising. I don't know if they're worth a while or worth a darn or not. We'll kind of see what happens. Maybe Arthur Smith down there is actually doing some really good stuff and figuring stuff out. Indianapolis is
I mean,
starting
it
to look
looks
good.
like,
Go ahead.
yeah, you said that. I mean, are they though? I mean,
They'll
they've always been a running team, so to speak, or they haven't
yeah.
in the past year. So, are they really starting to look good? Are they starting to look like they're actually doing what they need to be doing and quit throwing the damn ball all the time?
That that's a good point. The thing is like I will say this with Indianapolis, like yeah, they were going up against Jacksonville, and it seems like if they go up against a good defense, like the Titans are playing them this week, and so I'm not too sure how well if Jonathan Taylor's back. I'm not sure too well how he's going to do. Not sure how. I mean, our secondary is great to throw against. The Titans secondary is great to throw against, but like can Matt Ryan, is he going to have enough time in the pocket? Is he going to be able to make those passes? So Indy could be back. They could be good for the AFC South, but basically like Houston and Jacksonville just wipe them away. But what is happening in the NFC East? Like NFC East used to be the NFC least. Nobody really cared. But are the Giants legit? I mean, the Eagles seem to be legit. They're the only undefeated team. The Giants seem to be doing great things because how in the world do you beat Green Bay and Baltimore? Like the two teams that like no one would have put you against them. So I mean, it seems like they're doing an amazing job. Like it's awesome to see, and I'm curious to see how that's going to pan out. Plus, Dallas is getting Dak soon. Dallas has been surviving. I think they're 4-2 now.
I
Pretty sure
mean,
the
I mean,
Giants
I
are
don't, I
four
don't,
and
I don't,
two.
I don't feel very worried about Dak coming back. Like it was like, oh, Dak's Jerry Jones was saying Dak's excited to come back and like are eager to come back, and it was like, oh yeah, but is he eager to win? Like that's the real question. Like great, he's ready to come back, but if he sucks, why would you not keep the hot hand? Like let's go like this. And I said this before with somebody else. Legitimately, any other team is so flippant with who they pick for their starters. You know, they're ready. Like you lose one game, bam, you're out. We're starting to back up, right? No, not Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys will stick with the QB and a running back through thick and thin. Hey, they could be playing the worst ever, and they're like, they're our starter. We're gonna start them. So good and bad, you know, at least they stick with them. But at the same time, it's like, hey, you know, maybe it's time to like not stick with them.
But Dak hasn't been bad. It hasn't been that he's been bad, and also Cooper Rush doesn't seem to be able to maintain the level. Like playing quarterback
But
seems to be
has he
like a
been
really difficult
good?
thing. He's been okay. He hasn't been great. That's the thing. I like Dak has the potential to be great, especially when he's got Michael Gallup back. He's got CD Lamb that he's going to be able to support, and Zeke seems to be doing a lot better. And so I think, I mean, I don't think there's no way Cooper Rush is going to continue being the starting quarterback. They're going to put Deke in, or Deke, Dak. They're going to put Dak in, and they're going to have him playing. There's no way that they're going to go with Cooper Rush for the rest of the year. Not happening. Unless, of course, they start sucking. But I don't think they will. I think
So
they've
you
got a really
said
good
you said
defense. They've been good.
no, I was just gonna be like you said Brandon Ayuk you think's back or did a great job. Do you think he's back, or is it just kind of like a fluke, kind of like this whole Cooper Rush thing and Deion Jackson, like all these players stepped up. Like I mean, it really was a week of just like no names or people that haven't proved themselves jumping into a position. You know, Deion Jackson, Kenyon Drake, Brandon Ayuk, Matt Ryan, the Jets defense, all people you would pick. Chase Claypool, Joe Burrow's been playing lackluster, Jamar Chase been playing lackluster, and then all of a sudden they blow up. You know, so like the question is at this point, it's like, do you start to trust them again, or
Are they
are we
consistent?
still?
Right?
Yeah,
The
yeah, they're
consistency of
not
it.
consistent. 100.
Well,
percent
I'll
We
say
all know
this. Like
that.
for instance, Brandon Ayuk not consistent. Like I wouldn't trust him. I wouldn't go chasing after the points. Deion Jackson, I think he's one and done. Like I don't think because if Jonathan Taylor doesn't go, I think it'll be Naeem Hines. If Jonathan Taylor's not ready. That being said, I also don't think. I'm not sure about Kenyon Drake because Gus Edwards is going to come back soon. If not this week, then next. And so that's a concern as well. Um, as far as let's see who well, Latavius Murray I think has a chance to be the guy, just because they don't seem to be trusting Melvin Gordon with his abilities and stuff like that. But um, so yeah, I think Dallas has a really good chance to actually be a force in the NFC and the NFC East. And I think I would not be surprised if at the end of it, what I am surprised, the Giants are surprising me in a huge, huge way. Like I'm like, what in the world? Like, how do you beat Green Bay and Baltimore? Like those are huge teams. Those are great teams, and you beat them. Like I'm amazed by that. And so so I think that the Giants could be legit. Could be legit. We'll see. That we'll give them like another week or two and see how they pull it out. But I think the Giants are a team to be reckoned with. Team that I am worried about. Speaking of Green Bay, is Green Bay. I don't know what's going on there. Like
Let's just lead right into that one, didn't you?
it's a good segue. It's a good segue. I just like the biggest thing is that, like, okay, so you got a Hall of Fame quarterback. Maybe it's the wide receivers. Maybe everybody can stack the box because like Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon are great running backs, but they're not getting much done. Especially this past week, they didn't get much done. Um, and so maybe you could just stack the box, and the only wide receiver that you really need to guard is Alan Lazard, and then that's it. I mean, that's part of the reason too. Like Randall Cobb was doing great, and then he got taken out, or was doing I shouldn't say great. He was doing all right. He was a guy that Rogers trusts over Romeo Dobbs, over Christian Watson. Like, but now I don't know. Hey, it's like how does Green Bay lose as much as they have been? Like they're 3-3. Like at this point in the season, like they're scaring me. I'm concerned about Aaron Jones. I'm concerned about AJ Dillon. I'm concerned about Al Lazard. I'm concerned about Rodgers. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think they'll figure it out, but gosh, it's scary looking. It's really scary looking. How about you? Anybody you're worried about?
My whole team.
Well, besides your whole team, who specifically from your team? Like,
they're really doing.
who are you looking at mostly that you're concerned
Let's see.
about?
So I mean, like, first off, like, I would love to get all my wide receivers back playing again because I mean that's when I was really like destroying it. You know, Mike Evans, Jalen Waddle, Bate-man. You know, if I get them back, oh crap, Jalen Hurts is out this week. Oof, totally forgot about that. That's ugly.
Well, he's on bye this week. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like every one of my guys just laid out. I mean, at best, I have backups to backups that just are horrible, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like Huntley, even though he played better than Algier, it's like he's not playing like Cordell Patterson is, you know? So, yes, I mean, honestly, it's just my whole team. My whole team is just trying to kill me.
So let's get into possible trade partners. So we're looking at the bottom guys in our league. So we'll just start out with Scott's Tots. Do you want to throw Scott under the bus and talk about his trade offer to you on the interwebs?
No, I mean the man is stretching. I mean he said to me he thought I was punishing him for Allen's trade years ago, and I'm like, it's not that. I was like,
you did say that.
I was like, when did I say that?
You said that in our podcast. Our podcast, we recorded it, and you said that because of the Josh Allen trade.
I mean that's not true. Like the truth is, I mean I told him it's like you're not giving up good trades. Like none of your trades even remotely touch home to me. Like I'm not gonna give you up Josh Jacobs, who is my second, maybe third, at least third top scorer. Like for J.K. Dobbins, who has at best been like mediocre, for Terry McLaurin, who's at best been mediocre, like no. And so I sent him a trade. Hell, give me Walker. I'll give you, since you think they're so great, I'll give you another Washington receiver and Philip Lindsay, who's a backup now. He's like, well, J.K. Dobbins ain't a backup. I was like, he was this week.
The thing is, like, you do also kind of give him crappy ones in return, which I know. Like, if he's offering you something crappy, then like one of the things that he mentioned is he's on
direct
he's
trade I would give him fantasy pros.
I don't know. It's really difficult to be in Scott's position, like I not being there. So like I've never gone 0-6 in any league as far as I know. But
I mean, I'm there right now. The same place in one of my other leagues. I'm 1-5 now.
Really?
Like I just can't get out of my own way. Like my teams are just like I could have started two people that like. Why the hell would I start Ezekiel Elliott when he's got me 4 points at best every single game, and then all of a sudden he blows up for 14? And Christian Kirk has been playing awesome. But then all of a sudden I get Alan Lazard blows up on me versus anybody else over CeeDee Lamb. You know, it's like, what the crap?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I have to go on a 7-game winning streak just to even remotely think I'm going to make it into playoffs. Because the way this other team's playoffs is, it's like they have 2 weeks of playoffs, and then their championship is a 2-week championship. So you can blow somebody out of the water the first points, but then get 0 the next ones and still lose. And it's like, that's gay. Not to mention it's standard. It's standard, which is 100% just stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
You talked to them about possibly like switching to like a half-point PPR and stuff like that. But so my suggestion to Scott
the person
would be like
running
wait it
it,
out.
the person running it is at best never there. So like she never even pays attention. I don't think so. I might just like propose that, hey, let me step up and be the commissioner and just make a whole bunch of changes, you know?
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, that'd be. I think if you've got the time, like that's one of the things that I would like to do too, is like possibly become a commissioner of like a dynasty team. I think that would be fun. And I know a couple of guys would want to do it from our league, from Chattown, but also I'm pretty sure I can get a few others in there and whatnot. Anyway, so my suggestion to Scott would be kind of just like wait it out. I know he's wanting to trade. He wants Andrews like so bad. He might even give me like Mixon and Brady and who else did he say? Oh, and Joku. But like I told him because like he was like I was like if you like he's looking at Fantasy Pros and he's like, well, according to this trade, like the trade value for Mixon is higher than the trade value for Andrews. So technically you're getting higher than that. I said, but you got to understand, and this goes along with anything. It depends on my team. My team right now, because of the fact that I gave you Jalen Hurts for what I hope turns out to be a dominant running back. At some point in time, please, Jonathan Taylor, get on the field and do something. But like with that, like I gave you a great quarterback, and so now I'm playing the quarterback carousel. I'm like, okay, now I have to rotate quarterbacks in and out, but I was willing to do that. But now he's like, well, can you give me Andrews by himself with Njoku and Mixon? And I said, listen, I can't do that. Even though I've got great running backs and Mixon will be another fantastic running back on top of that, I don't want to play the carousel with a quarterback and the carousel with a tight end. Like that's just how my team is set up. And so that's when he offered Brady. And so I'm debating on that mentally right now. It's like, do I want to take Brady and Njoku and Mixon for
No.
Mark Andrews?
No.
I don't know.
Absolutely not.
Why do you think not?
Like Brady's playing horrible. Take it from me.
Yeah, but I mean, he could. But the thing is, like, I mean, it is Tom Brady, and like
it is Tom Brady. Okay, let's go off of this. Okay, what is Tom Brady known for best on every team he's played for?
What do you mean?
What is he known for?
Passing the ball.
No, you said it before. You have to be willing to play 60 minutes of football, right? Which to me is basically what it is he'll put up the minimal amount of points just to beat the team. Like he's not there blowing people out like Jalen Hurts or Christian McCaffrey. Wow, Patrick Mahomes. I was way off of Christian McCaffrey.
Well, the thing is like so
he's not putting up all those points. He's just doing his own little thing.
Right, but basically the thing is like I don't know. I've got to do a little bit of research and figure out if it would be worth it. Because the thing is like I would be getting Mixon. That's really what I would be getting. I would be getting Mixon out of that deal, and I would be able to like have at least some stability in the quarterback position. Because I think Tom Brady's going to do better than Daniel Jones or Marcus Mariota or other people. So with Brady, it would be the consistency. It would be that I wouldn't have to play the carousel as much. Yeah, it's not great, and who knows? I mean, maybe later on he could blow up. Getting all of his pieces back, having him back for a couple of weeks versus where he's just got Godwin back. I think last week, and so finally being able to actually practice with him and do stuff. I don't know, maybe, but that's neither here nor there. So. We'll see. We'll see if that trade ends up happening. I'm debating on it myself. Waterboys, 2-4. Waterboys needs running backs. He's got Singletary, who is a starter, but on a team that prefers to pass. He's got J.D. McKissick, who's that, and that's pretty much it. Damian Harris, who is no longer like going to be playing for a while. And that's it. That's all he's got. Like he needs running back. So if anybody can trade him for one of his top wide receivers to give him some running backs, Waterboys, you need to look at possibly doing that in order to have a chance. Schrute Farms, also suffering at running back. He's got a top 1 and 2. We'll say like Saquon Barkley, great. We'll say Ramondre Stevenson, great. But then it's Kareem Hunt, Eno Benjamin, Cam Akers, who's probably not going to be on the team any longer. and Michael Carter, who's taking a back seat to Breece Hall, and Jaylen Warren, who might potentially take over for Najee Harris, but who knows?
I see. Honestly, I see. What's his face actually offering Schrute Farms or Waterboys a trade because I mean they
Who?
both need running backs. Scott's Tots because he has a crap load of running backs. I mean, he just kind of come off of them, you know.
Yeah, actually, that would probably be better. Like if since Scott has really good running backs, yeah, Scott could offer them one of his running backs, one of his
But
star running backs.
he's gonna have to give up somebody.
Well, I mean, he can give up Joe Mixon for yeah. I mean, he could do it for Jamar Chase.
He gonna
He could
give
do
up
it for
Joe
Deebo
Mixon
Samuel.
for like 3 wide receivers. Yeah, he gonna want Jamar Chase and whatever
Deebo
leg they
Samuel.
want to stand on. Yeah, that's the point. It's like, what? Are you crazy?
So here's what I would suggest for Scott. Go and get maybe Mike Williams and Jahan Dotson for Joe Mixon. Maybe just taking a shot on them. That would be one. The other thing too. What is actually interesting is the Leprechauns needs wide receivers. He's only got Adams, which is worth anything, and he's also starting 2 tight ends. And so I think Leprechauns needs to either give up one of his tight ends or like go and trade some of his running backs, like one of his good running backs, either Dalvin Cook or let's see who else. He needs to get rid of. I don't know why he still got Rashad Penny. Rashad Penny's out for the year, as far as I know. Like he's just got to do some stuff. I think Leprechauns maybe like, yeah, I'll just see what happens. Just let it go, and it's fine. It's okay, whatever. So he definitely has some wide receivers that would be or definitely needs wide receivers because Deontay Johnson is okay. Romeo Doubs, I mean, he's not the number 1 or the number 2. He's got T. Higgins, which is all right. But Devontae Adams is the only one that's actually going to put up anything. You got anything else you want to say?
No, just debating on how I'm going to lose this week.
I mean, so it's really funny because like in my other league, I have Josh Allen, who's on bye, Cooper Kupp, who's on bye, and I'm like, and those have been like the 2 most dominant players on my team, and I'm like, well, I guess I could chalk this up to losing. I'm okay. I guess I'll be okay with that. They didn't do well last week. Like I ended up losing last week as well, so I might come out of this 4-3, but I already picked up Jimmy Garoppolo in that league to hopefully go up against Kansas City and start like just chucking the ball as much as he can. And so
yeah,
be a good one. Well, I think we got it all.
Think so?
Yeah, I think this will be a much easier edit.
Yeah, it's a lot less.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tagging along and being with us as we discuss Week 6 of the Chattown Fantasy League. Guys, if you're listening in our league, go out there and make some trades, make some more trades, get some more trades. Scott, I'm glad that you lost to me because I didn't want to give you the first win, but I hope you get a win this week. I do. And I would definitely say like go look at the other ones, try and see if you can get some good wide receivers in there to help you out. If you're watching on YouTube, click the bell or click subscribe, click the bell, leave us a comment. How are you guys doing this week? How are you doing in your fantasy leagues? Right now, I'm 4-2 in both of mine, and would love to hear. Andrew, how are you? You're 4-2 in one of them. How are you in the other
4-2,
in another?
1-5, and 6-6.
How are you 6-6?
Because you double. Sean's league does double each one.
Oh, that's okay. 6-6. Okay, so theoretically, you're just 3-3 in that one. So that's basically in essence what that turns into. So
I mean, yeah. You could go. I'm 2-2 if you really want to reduce it down, or 1-1.
No. Because it's only been 6 weeks. It's just weird that you're like 6-6. I'm like, wait, hold on. How does that work? So, but anyway, so you're.
But you're saying
even
it's 50-50 is all you're saying. It's
you're even 500. So that's good. Anyway, let us know how you're doing in the comments below. If you're listening, hit that subscribe button. Leave us a 5-star review. I'm
Five
Nick.
star. Let's go for 6-star. I'm Andrew.
And as
And as
always,
always, you have an open invitation to our conversation.
bye bye.
Bye bye.